It's feeding time. You scoop the food. You set the bowl down. And your cat looks up at you. It's not meowing. Not excited. Just staring. That slow blink. That quiet look that feels heavy. Most cat owners know that look. Especially when your cat is getting older. Eating slower. Walking away halfway through a meal. And here's the hard truth, said gently. In many homes, that look isn't random. It's often linked to a food choice made with love. A choice almost everyone makes. Today, we're going to talk about what's really in many wet and dry cat foods. Which ingredients raise concerns over time. And how to choose safer options without fear, guilt, or panic. Because this isn't about blame. It's about clarity. Why most cat owners choose the wrong food with good intentions. Most people don't choose bad cat food. They choose familiar cat food. They trust the brand they've always used. The one their cat seems fine on. The one the vet once mentioned years ago. And the packaging helps. Words like complete, balanced, veterinarian approved. Here's the quiet problem. Those words don't tell you how the food affects your cat over time. Especially senior cats. Cats over 7. Cats whose kidneys, digestion, and hydration needs slowly change. Many foods are formulated to meet minimum standards. Not optimal agging. Not long-term comfort. And most owners don't realize that until subtle changes appear. Less energy, thinner fur, more sleeping, more vomiting, more water bowls left untouched. Let me ask you something. When did you last read your cat's ingredient label, slowly? Risky ingredient 1, unspecified meat byproducts. Zoom in on the label. You see meat byproducts. It sounds technical, even official. But unspecified is the key word here. This term can include organs and tissues that vary widely in quality. Some are nutritious. Others are inconsistent. Research suggests inconsistent protein sources may be harder for older cats to process. Especially cats with agging kidneys. Cats thrive on clear, identifiable animal protein. Chicken, turkey, rabbit, not mystery blends. Over time, many owners report that cats on vague protein sources become pickier. Or lose muscle tone. Not overnight. Slowly. Question for you. Does your cat's food list a specific animal first? Or a category? Risky ingredient 2, artificial colors and flavor enhancers. Cats don't care what color their food is. They don't see food the way we do. So why are artificial colors there? For us, some artificial additives are associated with digestive sensitivity in pets. Especially in cats with already delicate stomachs. Many senior cat owners report increased vomiting or stool changes after years on brightly colored dry food. Flavor enhancers can also mask low-quality ingredients, making food more appealing at first, but less nourishing long-term. If your cat eats eagerly, then walks away later, that can be a quiet signal. Not hunger. Discomfort. Real-life story 1, Whiskers, age 12. Whiskers had eaten the same dry food for 10 years. No problems. Until there were. His owner noticed he started leaving food behind. Drinking more water. Sleeping longer. Nothing dramatic. Just different. A label check revealed multiple artificial colors and vague protein sources. After switching to a simpler ingredient food with clear animal protein, many owners report changes like better appetite and steadier energy. Not miracles, just small improvements that mattered. Risky ingredient 3, excessive carbohydrates and fillers. Cats are obligate carnivores. Their bodies are built for meat. Yet many dry foods rely heavily on corn, wheat, soy, or rice. These ingredients help with texture and shelf life. But they raise concerns when they dominate the formula. High carbohydrate intake has been linked to weight gain and blood sugar instability in cats, especially older cats. Over time, excess carbs can mean less room for moisture and protein. Two things senior cats desperately need. Ask yourself, are the first three ingredients animal-based or plant-based? Real-life story 2, Luna, the quiet change. Luna didn't stop eating. She just slowed down. Her owner thought it was age. 8 years old. It's normal. But Luna's food listed cornmeal, rice flour, and byproducts before any named meat. After transitioning gradually to a higher protein, moisture-rich food, many owners report cats appearing more comfortable and engaged at mealtime. Again, not dramatic. Just better. How these ingredients affect senior cats over time. Here's the part most people miss. Cats hide discomfort incredibly well. By the time symptoms show, the issue has often been building quietly. Kidneys working harder. Digestion slowing. Hydration dropping. Ingredients that are tolerated in youth may become harder to handle with age. That doesn't mean you failed your cat. It means their needs changed. And now comes the most overlooked ingredient of all. The one many loving owners feed every single day. Without realizing it's often the hardest on older cats. Why this still matters? If your cat is older than 7, this matters more than you think. Because the changes we're talking about don't happen suddenly. They show up quietly. A little less energy. A little more sleeping. A bowl that isn't finished anymore. And often the cause isn't age alone. It's what's been in the bowl for years. In part 1, we talked about vague proteins, artificial additives, and heavy fillers. Now we're going to look at the ingredient most commonly fed without question. The one that raises the most concerns for senior cats. And then we'll walk through how to read labels calmly and choose safer options with confidence. Risky ingredient 4, dry food as the primary diet. This one surprises many people. Dry food itself. Not because it's evil. Not because it's forbidden. But because of what it lacks. Moisture. Cats evolved to get most of their water from prey. Their thirst drive is naturally low. So when dry food becomes the main diet, many cats live in a state of mild dehydration. Not enough to cause immediate problems, but enough to raise concerns over time. Research suggests low moisture intake is associated with kidney stress and urinary issues in cats, especially as they age. Many owners report that senior cats on mostly dry food drink more water, but still don't get enough. The body compensates until it can't as easily anymore. Ask yourself this gently. Is dry food the base of your cat's diet, or a small part of it? How this affects kidneys, digestion, and energy. Let's keep this simple. Kidneys. The kidneys filter waste using water. Less moisture means they work harder. Over years, that extra effort adds up. Digestion. Dry food is dense, often high in carbohydrates, harder to break down for aging digestive systems. Energy. When hydration drops, cats conserve energy. They rest more, move less. Many owners describe it as their cat slowing down. Sometimes it's not just age. It's fuel, a common feeding pattern to rethink. Here's a pattern we see often. Dry food available all day. Wet food as an occasional treat. This feels logical, convenient, affordable. But for older cats, flipping that balance can make a difference. Wet food as the foundation. Dry food as the topper or snack. Not perfection, just improvement. How to read cat food labels correctly. This is where empowerment happens. Start with the first 3 ingredients. They matter the most. Look for named animal proteins. Chicken, turkey, duck, rabbit. Avoid relying on generic terms. Byproducts without species listed. Next, scan for unnecessary additives. Artificial colors. Flavor enhancers. Then check carbohydrate sources. A little is normal. A lot at the top of the list raises concerns. And finally, look at moisture content. Wet foods naturally support hydration. You don't need to memorize anything. You just need to recognize patterns. Safer ingredient alternatives to look for. Here are calmer, safer signals many owners look for when choosing food. Named animal protein as the first ingredient. Clear source. Consistent nutrition. Higher moisture content. Canned pâté or gently cooked wet foods. Supports hydration naturally. Limited ingredient formulas. Fewer ingredients. Less digestive workload. Animal-based fats. Chicken fat. Fish oil. Linked to skin, coat, and brain support. Minimal fillers. No heavy reliance on corn, wheat, or soy. You don't need all 5. Even 2 or 3 is a step forward. Transitioning without stress. One important note. Never switch food suddenly. Cats need time. Mix slowly over 7 to 10 days. Watch appetite, stool, and behavior. Your cat will tell you how they feel. Quietly, but clearly. What this really comes down to. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Most cat owners love deeply. They just weren't given clear information. If your cat looks at you quietly at mealtime, if they pause before eating, if they walk away more often now, that look is communication. And now you know how to listen. Calm, empowering conclusion. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need the most expensive food. You just need to choose with intention. And adjust as your cat ages. Small changes. Better ingredients. More moisture. That's how we support our cats through their later years. With dignity, comfort, and trust. If this helped you understand your cat a little better, this channel is here for you. We break down food labels calmly. We focus on long-term safety. And we put your cat's comfort first. Feeding time. The bowl on the floor. Your cat looking up at you. But this time the look is different. There's curiosity. There's interest. There's that small step forward instead of hesitation. Not because you found a perfect food. Not because you changed everything overnight. But because you paid attention. This part isn't about what to avoid anymore. It's about what happens when you start choosing better, calmly, patiently, and with trust. What better actually looks like in real life. Better doesn't mean flawless. It doesn't mean homemade meals or complicated routines. Better often looks like this. A wet food added once a day. A label you actually understand now. A dry food that becomes a side dish instead of the main event. Better is subtle. And with cats, subtle is powerful. Many owners report that within weeks of small changes, they notice quiet shifts. A cat finishing meals more often. Less begging for treats. A coat that feels softer. Eyes that look clearer. Nothing dramatic. Just signs of comfort. The senior cat myth we need to let go of. There's a belief that older cats are supposed to fade. Sleep all day. Lose interest in food. Withdraw a little. Age does bring change. But discomfort doesn't have to come with it. When nutrition supports hydration, digestion, and energy, many cats stay engaged longer than we expect. They still nap. They still move slower. But they also still show up. For meals. For window watching. For quiet company. Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time your cat surprised you? Real lifestyle moment, the turnaround no one expected. Milo was 11. His owner thought this is just how it goes. Milo ate, but without enthusiasm. Walked away often. Lost a bit of weight. No crisis. Just a slow dimming. After learning how to read labels and increasing moisture in his diet, the change wasn't instant. But one morning, Milo finished his bowl. Licked it clean. And waited. That moment matters. Many owners describe it as relief. Not excitement. Relief. What cats are really responding to. Cats don't understand ingredients. They understand how food makes them feel afterward. Does it sit comfortably? Does it hydrate? Does it give steady energy instead of spikes? When the body feels supported, behavior follows. Maury grooming. Maury presence. Maury patience at the bowl. That's not coincidence. That's feedback. Building a long-term feeding rhythm that works. Here's a simple rhythm many owners settle into. Morning. Wet food. High moisture. Calm start. Daytime. Small amount of dry food if needed. Measured. Intentional. Evening. Another wet meal or moisture-rich option. Fresh water always available. Sometimes a second bowl. Sometimes a fountain. No pressure. No guilt. Just consistency. Cats thrive on predictability. And so do we. How to know you're on the right track. You don't need lab tests to notice progress. Watch for these gentle signs. Steadier appetite. Less food left behind. More relaxed posture after eating. Stool that's consistent. Fur that looks less dull. And most importantly, that look. The one that says, I feel okay. Trusting yourself again as a cat owner. One of the quiet harms of confusing pet food marketing is self-doubt. Owners start wondering if they're doing enough. If they missed something. If they failed their cat. Let's be clear. If you're watching a video like this. If you're reading labels now. If you're adjusting with care. You're doing right by your cat. Nutrition isn't about perfection. It's about responsiveness. Your cat changes. You adapt. That's love. The happy ending we don't talk about enough. The best outcome isn't a cat that suddenly acts young again. It's a cat that feels safe. Comfortable. Content. A cat that eats without hesitation. Sleeps deeply. Wakes calmly. A cat that still seeks you out. Still sits nearby. Still slow blinks back. That's the real win. Bringing it all together. Let's gently summarize the journey. You learned that many common foods are chosen with good intentions. That some ingredients raise concerns over time. That moisture matters more than most people realize. You learned how to read labels without fear. How to spot better options. How to make changes gradually. And now you know this. When your cat looks at you at feeding time, it's communication. And you're listening. Final calm goodbye. This series wasn't made to scare you. It was made to support you. Your cat doesn't need the best food on the market. They need food that supports who they are now. Older, wiser, still deeply connected to you. Thank you for caring enough to learn. Thank you for choosing awareness over fear. and thanked you for giving your cat the quiet comfort they deserve. This is where we end the story. With a full bowl, a calm room, and a cat who feels understood.